Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. The Fever win in exciting overtime game 99-93. And what a game. Like, this is a great feel good game. And it probably would be one of the best feel good games of the season if it wasn't for Sophie Cunningham going down with apparently what looks like a knee injury. I wish the best for her, and we need her for this season. It's a huge blow, one to a team that just seems to be cursed and plagued by injuries. No matter what's happening on the court, if you are a guard, it's trouble. It's trouble, and it's not good. And so I wish the best for her. Hopefully, speedy recovery. Hopefully, it's nothing too major, and she can come back. Hopefully, this season, because if not, that is a pretty big blow to the team. But you have to be excited for a team that showed you what you wanted to see from them as far as grit and being able to come back in a game and win it being down by so much. The game started awful. Kelsey Mitchell was non-existent. She was cold as ice. 8 turnovers. Sun got up by 21 at one point. And the game threads, I'm sure there are probably other people and stuff like that were calling for we need to start tanking the season already, right? Sophie's injury. This looks like it's going to be a bust against like one of the lowest ranked teams in the league. But this team knew what they had to do. They came together, they chipped away, they stuck together, they clawed back into this game. They got to overtime, and in overtime, they played phenomenally. They had way more gas in the tank than the Sun did. The Sun were shaky. The Fever were doing what they had to do and playing out of their mind. They put on a hell of a show. This was an exciting game. Even if you want to try to, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be like, well, it's the Sun and they're the lowest ranked team. But the reality is, like, this is a professional basketball league. This team just beat the Liberty earlier this month. And it still takes a lot to come back and win a game on the road. Although, to be honest, there were a lot of Fever fans there. You could hear it whenever the Fever would get a call.
Sparks. This is her 6th WNBA franchise of her 12-year career.
And fight through all the bad ref calls, all that stuff to get to a victory. I think you have to applaud this team for that and showing their grit and showing improvement, because there's a lot of things in this game that you wanted to see from the team that came through. And so we have to start with the player of the game, the person that lit on fire, because she was cold. She scored 0 points in the first quarter, but Kelsey Mitchell came alive, especially in OT, and she was unstoppable. She was unguardable. She was raining in threes. I think that she had, it was something like, let me actually look. Let me get specifics right here. She was 5 for 8 from 3. But at the end of the game, like, she was pump faking. She was finding her shots. She was making shots over Tia Charles. Should have had another 3, but of course her toe was on the line because she's Kelsey Mitchell. But on top of all the scoring she's doing, she still has 6 assists. She still has 2 steals. She is giving you everything you want, even in a game where she starts absolutely cool. 38 points is an insane performance from her. Aaliyah Boston, our rock, consistently hardworking, got into foul trouble, didn't matter. 14 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. Like, that is just putting work all over the board, working into Tina Charles, fighting through adversity. It just seemed like, it was going to be one of those games again for her, but she came back and she stuck through and she did work for us. And Natasha Howard has to be applauded in this game. 18 points from her, 9 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. And in the early game, when everyone else was struggling, she was the one that would come in, get an offensive rebound, transition into points. She did that consistently throughout this game. She turned missed shots into gold for us. And you need players like that. And she has to get her flowers for this game because she performed amazing when it came to that. Odyssey Sims, more practices, more time to develop after a 5-day rest period before our game on Friday. That's what you want to see for her to keep developing even more. And she's getting better and better, mainly her ability to get to the hoop. And I think the more that she does that and also kicks out, and our 3 players are starting to hit their shots more consistently, which they did thankfully towards the end of this game, because in the first half we hit nothing, and the back half of the game we were on fire. But her ability to go and distribute as well, again, 7 assists, it's something we wanted to see from her, because even when we'd see a few points and other things from her, we weren't quite seeing the assists. Now it's starting to come together. More time is going to be good for her. We see why potentially a team looked at her and said, hey, maybe her over Erin McDonald. Still wish we had Aerie back, but I think the main key difference for me is that Odyssey Sims is extremely athletic, and this team has sorely been missing a player again that can get to the rim and create other opportunities. But there are plays like there's this one play where it's clear Odyssey was looking to pass. She realizes like midair, it's not a pass, and then turns into a shot. And now she misses that shot, obviously. But there's things that she can do athletically that other guards on our team just can't do. So Odyssey Sims definitely earning that re-up on the contract, and maybe we'll get locked in for the rest of the season. We'll see how that goes. Lexi Hall, man alive, she was working her butt off on defense in this game. I like her stat line is 8.7 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, but it felt like she had 40 steals because she was responsible for most of the steals in this game, either tipping stuff, creating pressure, knocking the ball away. Like she may have not actually gathered the steal, but she helped someone else get it through her disruption and just playing hard this game all over the floor. Getting back to the Lexi Hall that we kind of got used to earlier in the season, kind of waned, coming back and hitting a big clutch three to really put the game out of reach and lock it up in overtime. Thank you, Lexi Hall, for just keeping your head down and working your butt off. I know it had to suck to watch your fellow blonde bomber go down, but she stuck with us this game, played amazing. And down the stretch, I also want to give props to, I think that again, new pieces in, White and crew show that they're a little bit slow to adjust to the tools that they have, or they're still trying to figure them out. And some tools have just been in the toolbox the entire time. It just hasn't been dusted off and used and hasn't had the chance to shine. And in this game, I think there's a lot of really good substitutions that happened from White in this game, namely Bibby near the end of the fourth quarter, bringing her in. Like in my head, I was like, hey, she has a really quick release. Like she's a good screener. You can bring her in and she can play a good role here because worst comes to worst, you have 1.2, 1.7 seconds, whatever it's left, and you can get her the ball and she'll get it off in time. And so it didn't work out, but I do like that there's a lot of, I can see the connections and the conscious thought to like who we're rotating and why, especially in these clutch situations when it really, really matters. And on top of that, you know who we really have to give props to is Brianna Turner, because in crunch time, in the fourth quarter, in overtime, White left her in, and her defensive promise that we had, the reason we brought her onto the team, started to shine through. She was locking down Tina Charles. She was making her take difficult shots. She was communicating on switches. She was playing really good defense and the kind of thing that we really wanted from her when we brought her in. And she kind of had some rough games. She was only getting garbage minutes. She kind of got relegated to the bench. I mean, I talked about how going to the games, how she's always been locked in, supporting the team, calling shot clock, doing lots of little things for the team. And finally, again, getting her moment to shine. And she shined. She's showing her worth. And she needs to get her flowers for this game because she did really well, including getting the pass out to Lexi Hall for a three in that big moment as well. Just great IQ and awareness in this game. However, the other one that I hope that just we see a big shift in the next game. I hope hopefully they get the time, because I get White's gut reaction that whenever Aaliyah Boston gets in trouble, Dantas is her replacement. And I get that people think that we don't have other people that can fill in at that position, but I don't think it's worth playing Dantas anymore because Dantas is just guaranteed turnovers in this game. And again, between last game and this game, the last 4 post feeds that we've given to Dantas, every single one has been a turnover. We're 4 for 4 on post feeds and turnovers. And even in little moments, where she gets a rebound and she has a chance to, make it easy too, she's whiffing those. And it's just one of those things where it's like, I think that we need to give her minutes to Bree Turner. I would rather have you play Brianna Turner than play Dantas at this point, despite what she gives you offensively. The rest of the team is coming together offensively enough, and we're spreading the floor enough that I think it's worth it to explore running Bree Turner for her defensive abilities in this game, especially in tough matchups. Again, just have to give a shout out to this team. Yes, this is a team you should beat, but you were in a situation where your odds of winning were probably very low for any for any kind of app that tracks win probability. The Fever were probably in the tank, and to show the grit, to show the fortitude, to come back in a game like this in against a team that had nothing to lose, and those are dangerous teams. Like, props to the team. And I'm glad that they get this win. They get to stabilize a little bit. And they get 5 rest days to go and meet up with the Lynx on Friday. I think that that is really big for them. And I hope that we can show a good performance against the Lynx, who still are, for pound, the best team in the league currently. That's what they're showing. They're being very consistent and performing very well. But the Fever, so far, have their number. So let's see how that matchup goes. For everyone else, leave a comment down below. What was your favorite play of the game? Who do you want to give props to that maybe hasn't been getting as much props in this game? And as always, remember, you're going to be amazing today because you are amazing. And I'll catch you next episode.